I want to bring up another book, and I think you probably read it. You know this one?
Sapiens, yes, one of my favorite books ever. It's so funny because a lot of the TradCon friends that I have, when I mean traditional conservative friends that I have, they hate that book because Yuval Noah Harari. It's very similar to. Do you know who Alan Turing is?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, Alan Turing. He's the guy that created the Enigma machine and deciphered the messages that the Nazi Navy was using during World War II. And one of the smartest men who ever lived. Now, to me, he was probably the smartest person in the 19th century, including Einstein. But the reason we don't consider him that, why? Because he was an atheist, because he was a communist, and because he was a homosexual. We don't put him in that pantheon. People just don't. People don't consider him.
So he's famous in specific circles. So like I'm coming from Bay Area, Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
So for us, Turing is this fundamental person in computation. So he explained a bunch of laws of computation
that we use now,
which we use till day, and this was almost 80 years ago, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And then when you look at Newton, it's a similar thing where Newton came up with laws for gravitation and planetary or laws of motion that we still use today. Yes. Newton got things right before there was a space program that the space program currently uses. That's why Newton was incredible. And the same thing with Darwin. Darwin, with almost no evidence whatsoever, with massive extrapolations, got it completely right in 1859 that all life came from one single cell source. The tree of life originated with one place, and he didn't even know about DNA, had very, very, like, if any microscopes whatsoever, and he completely got it right. So that's one of the craziest things. Turing is the same thing. Who you just asked me about? Yuval Noah Harari. Yuval Noah Harari, I think, is probably one of the most important philosophers, thinkers on the planet today, but because he's a homosexual professor at the University of history professor at the University of Tel Aviv, the people who don't like Jews don't like him, and the people who don't like homosexuals don't like him, even though his beliefs are not excessively progressive. There's a lot of places where he's politically conservative, but I found so many people critical of him because of that, and I asked them why, and they can't explain it. One of the things is I always listen to the message, not the messenger. I don't, and I found so many people that are like call him I've mentioned before that I like Yuval Noah Harari, and a lot of my conservative friends who've never read the book are just like, I can't believe you listen to that nonsense trash or whatever, or because Barack Obama suggested the book, which, by the way, Barack Obama has two of the best book recommendations I've ever read, and one of the worst. Song of Solomon is one of the worst books I've ever read in my life. The Three-Body Problem and Sapiens are two of the best books I've ever read in my life. Again, it's the message, not the messenger. I don't care about someone's politics. I care about whether or not
you're saying
right.
that Barack Obama recommended that book.
I'd never heard of Sapiens until Barack Obama recommended it. Yeah.